today's healing session, I wrote that it was about transformation, soul re-regulation, as well as soul recognition. It's about harmonizing genetic integrity with soul potential. It's almost like that is the key foundation to life. We incarnate to resolve or to have learning and lesson. And often, unfortunately, they present through restriction. And so we can even kind of hold this genetic interplay with the past, because remember all the information I talk about, a lot of those beliefs and a lot of those, stagnation is being said to me now, are passed down generation to generation. And it's almost like we're here to experience ourselves as separate, to realize we are more than all of these limitations, and the soul holds the most powerful re-regulation that is possible. It's endless, really. It's almost like this up-leveling. I know some of you are just starting on the healing journey, and maybe that's kind of a little bit, I don't know, I want to use the word far-fetched or hard to kind of fathom when there is a lot of decline present. But again, it's that process of elimination, releasing, restriction after restriction, and we come back to this wholeness and this unity. And from that, it's like this higher reordering takes place, or this higher template exists. And it holds the truth of who we are. It holds the highest expression of self that if we were to level up, which obviously is healing, stepping into more of what we're here to actually do and experience. I will not lie to you, the earth plane is challenging, to say the least. We can kind of get really stuck in deregulation, relationships, trauma. The mind, wow, the mind is kind of its whole own. It's almost like its own entity. It can hold so much limitation, and yet at the same time, it can hold so much potential. And so expanded consciousness is really an elevation of the mind, letting go of constraints, letting go of past beliefs, letting go of structures that are almost like fabrications of, it's almost like limitations to a higher reality that is possible. And so it's almost like this retraining or recoding the brain to be able to facilitate this up-leveling. Because again, I do speak that the gateway to the spiritual is through the kind of reclaiming that heart space. But energetics do have to be read through the mind. So if we're holding so much restriction and decline neurologically, there's no place for anything else. And again, everything is energetic, everything is frequency. So it's like this up-leveling needs to take place, because again, this structure controls this. And so it's kind of this dance of integration or release or, stepping into more, but there has to be a harmonization between mind, body, and soul. I had actually written heaps of notes, and I didn't even kind of look at those. I kind of just went off and said, so I'm hoping that I said everything that I wanted to say. Maybe I'll quickly read a tiny bit. We are here to experience ourselves as separate. Obviously, human interconnectedness is a deep need, but all connection needs has to be restored from the place of unity within. Sometimes we're so caught up at looking at the world, dark faces, fear, manifest, and create deep misalignments, but it's almost like what we're looking for is so much deeper. It's almost like looking at our unclaimed potential. It's almost like looking at it a different way. And so this session is almost like a higher soul recognition or reconnection to reorder fears. So it's kind of like working at the highest top organization at the soul and releasing restrictions to have them release more and more at this kind of level of physicality, mindset, the lens that we view our world and our life through. So there's a lot of elements in this. Ming Men is one. Ming Men is the process of almost harmonization of genetic integrity with the soul's potential. And again, there's a big play into limitations even through the liver and the detoxification pathways, because a lot of it has been passed down. We're here to shift and change all of these things. So there'll be like DNA updates. There'll be restoring kind of divine rights, divine will, soul recognition, soul memory systems. There'll be a lot of karmic resolution. Karmic resolution can play out through so many levels: the physical, lower and higher soul integration, past lifetime harmonization, thymus updates, adrenal repair, heart presence, neurological updates and rebalancing, soul recognition and soul healing.